The power cut out just after midnight. You know because the silence woke you, not quiet, silence. The furnace and the fridge and the hum you never noticed until it stopped. Now there's just the wind shouldering against the siding and a slow, wet tick behind the drywall. The sound pipes make right before they split open and flood your hallway. The thermostat blinks 38. Your fingertips are gone. Your nose is gone. Somewhere outside a transformer explodes in a blue flash, and for a second, the whole block lights up like a photo. Then black again, and the neighbors are screaming at each other 3 doors down. And your propane heater? The one you bought on sale last October? The one you trusted? Empty. You forgot to refill it. And the fireplace your realtor called a charming feature is going to kill you before morning. Here's the part they never put in those polished prepper videos. In a real grid-down winter, fire is not your friend. Fire is a flare gun. Fire burns through fuel you don't actually have. Fire eats oxygen out of a sealed room and quietly suffocates you while you sleep thinking you're cozy. A chimney full of smoke tells every desperate person within half a mile exactly which house still has something worth taking, so forget the roaring hearth. You're not staying warm tonight with flames. You're staying warm with physics, trapped air, and a few old tricks the Victorians knew before central heating turned everyone soft. All right, deep breath. We're doing this together, and by the end, you'll understand why the single most important move you make tonight happens in the last 10 minutes before you lie down. Skip that part, and none of the other tricks matter. But we'll get there. First, let's give the enemy a face. Cold is not an absence. Cold is a siege. It doesn't breach the wall all at once. It presses in from every gap, every seam, every inch of bare skin, and it waits for you to make one small mistake. You lose heat 4 ways. Radiation, where your body just quietly beams warmth into the room like a lonely radio tower. Conduction, where anything you touch, the floor, the wall, the metal chair leg, pulls heat out of you directly. Convection, where moving air scrapes warmth off your skin. And evaporation, where any bit of sweat or damp fabric turns into a refrigerator. Your job is to shut all 4 doors, one at a time. Trick number 1. Call it the nesting doll. Because that's what you're about to become. Most people layer wrong. They throw on the fattest sweater they own and call it a day. That sweater is doing about 1/3 of what it could be doing. The secret isn't thickness. It's dead air. Warm air that isn't moving is the best insulator on Earth. So you build in thin layers that trap pockets of it. A thin base layer against your skin, wool or synthetic, never cotton. Cotton kills, full stop. It soaks up sweat and holds it there like a wet towel on a corpse, bleeding heat off your skin the whole time. Use wool, use fleece, use polyester long johns you bought for skiing 10 years ago and never wore. Over that, a mid-layer with texture, a fuzzy fleece or a chunky sweater, anything that grabs air and holds it. Then a shell, windproof. A rain jacket works. A garbage bag with armholes works. Hell, a tablecloth safety pinned at the neck works. You're not trying to look good. You're trying to wake up, cover your head, cover your neck, cover your wrists. Those are the places where big blood vessels run close to the skin and cold drinks from them like they're tap water. A scarf wrapped tight around your neck is worth 2 sweaters. Anybody who tells you otherwise is reading from a 1990s Boy Scout handbook that was wrong then and is wrong now. Now trick number 2, the room inside the room. Your house is a cathedral of wasted space. Every cubic foot of air in that giant living room is air you have to keep warm with your own body. Don't. Pick the smallest room in the house. Bathroom, closet, pantry, kid's bedroom. Something with no exterior walls if you can swing it. Hang blankets in the doorway. Hang blankets over every window. Shove towels under the door. You just shrunk your survival bubble from 2,000 square feet to maybe 80. And 80 square feet is a bubble your body can actually heat. Inside that little fort, go one step further. Pitch a tent. A real tent if you've got one. If you don't, Drape a sheet or a tarp, or even a Mylar emergency blanket over a couple of chairs. This is what I'd call the foil cocoon. Mylar reflects about 90% of your body's radiated heat right back at you. It looks like a baked potato wrapper, and it feels like one, but in the right setup, it's worth more than a down comforter. The mistake people make is wrapping it directly against their skin. Don't. Moisture gets trapped, and now you're a damp human burrito, and damp is death. Put a layer of wool or fleece between you and the foil. Let the Mylar work from the outside. Quick pause. I want to hear from you, because this is where a script can't replace lived experience. Drop a comment and tell me the coldest night you ever spent without heat and what actually worked to get you through it. Not what you read on a forum, what you did. Someone reading this on their phone tonight in a dark house might need exactly your story. Stack the deck for them. Trick number 3, the Stone Age water heater. You know what Europeans did for centuries before radiators? They heated a rock or a brick in a fire during the day, wrapped it in cloth, and shoved it under the blankets at night. You can do the same thing with a pot of water on any heat source you can find. A camping stove, a candle array, a car heater, whatever you've got for 20 minutes. Fill a metal water bottle with hot water. Not boiling, hot. Wrap it in a sock. Tuck it against the big arteries. Between your thighs, under your armpit, at the small of your back. That one bottle will throw heat for 6, sometimes 8 hours. 2 bottles, and you've got a cheap radiator that runs on nothing but water and patience. Put one at your feet, one at your chest, and you'll sleep like it's July. And here's the part that nobody mentions. Before you lie down for the night, you have to fuel the furnace. Your body heats itself by burning calories, about 100 watts worth on a good day, more if you eat right. A cold sleep on an empty stomach is a slow suicide. Eat something fatty and slow-burning right before bed. Peanut butter by the spoonful, a block of cheese, a handful of nuts, olive oil straight from the bottle if it comes to that. Sounds disgusting. Works beautifully. Fat takes hours to metabolize, and every one of those hours is another hour your core stays at 98.6, while the room plummets to freezing. Carbs burn fast and crash you by 3 a.m. Fat burns like a log. Drink something warm, not hot, before you sleep, not alcohol. Alcohol opens up your blood vessels and feels warm and is lying to you. It's actually bleeding heat out of your core and into your skin where the cold can get at it faster. Your grandfather's brandy trick killed more people than it ever saved. Remember that little promise at the start about the last 10 minutes before sleep deciding everything? This is it. Those final minutes are when you have to do the weirdest, stupidest looking thing in this whole video. You have to move. Not jog, not sweat, just move. 50 squats. A minute of jumping jacks. Push-ups against the wall. Anything that pushes your core temperature up a degree or 2 before you crawl into your nest. You're preheating the oven. Because once you're horizontal and still, your metabolism drops, and if you go into the blankets already cold, you will stay cold all night. Go in hot, and your own warmth, trapped by all the dead air you built around yourself, will keep you cooking till morning. Don't sweat, though. Sweat is the traitor in the castle. Stop moving the second you feel damp. Here's the quiet truth nobody puts on the news. People don't freeze to death because it got cold. They freeze because they made 3 small mistakes in a row. Wrong fabric, wrong room, empty stomach. Cold isn't what kills you. Your decisions an hour before bed are what kill you. So why does any of this actually work? Because your body is not trying to heat a house. It's trying to keep one organ, your brain, at 98.6. Everything else, fingers, toes, nose, ears, is expendable, and your body knows it, and it'll start shutting down the edges to protect the center. Every trick we just covered is a way of telling your body, you don't have to sacrifice anything tonight. The layers trap the heat you're already making. The small room shrinks the battlefield. The Mylar bounces your own radiation back at you. The hot water bottle warms the blood heading to your core. The fat in your stomach keeps the fire burning slow. The movement primes the pump. None of this is magic. It's just physics, stubbornness, and refusing to die over something as lazy as a cold room. Speaking of stubbornness, if you made it this far, hit the subscribe button. Not for me. For the version of you that shows up 6 months from now when the lights stay off for real, and you need to remember that trick about the water bottle, and whether or not you prepped matters more than whether or not the grid did. Consider it insurance that costs you 1 click. Now picture it again. It's 4 a.m. The transformer outside is still dead. The neighbors have gone quiet. Your pipes didn't split because you drained them. Your fireplace stayed cold because you knew better. And you're tucked into a closet, wrapped in wool and foil, with a sock full of warm water against your back and a belly full of peanut butter doing its slow, stupid, beautiful work. The room is 38 degrees. You are 98.6. And in the morning, when the sun finally crawls over the rooftops, you're going to open that door and walk out tired, stiff, hungry, and very much alive. That's the only ending that matters. If this one saved you even a degree of warmth tonight, drop a like so the algorithm hands it to the next person staring at a dark thermostat. And stick around. The next one's about water, and trust me, that's the one that catches most people off guard.